I think it's just getting a young guy some reps and getting some looks and see where he's at, and I think it was a smart thing to do.
How did you?
You're fired! What the hell's going on out here?
What's going on, niggas? Now, I just made a video earlier today about firing Caldwell's bum ass on after the game on Sunday, but come to find out, like, just stepped out for maybe a couple of hours and come back in the crib. I found out that fucking Bump Tardy and the offensive line coaches have been fired today. Now, I immediately, first thing I said in my head, I said, Jim Caldwell think he's slick. He think he's slick, dog. Like, but hey, I give him credit if this give him the room to coach the rest of the season, because I really think that it sounds like he was about to get fired himself today, from what I'm hearing. But it looked like he was forced to make these changes. Probably actually didn't really want to let Bump Tardy go, Joe Lombardi, Jeremiah Washburn, and Terry Heffernan, on the offensive line either. But he was, he had to let him go. Now, for me, this doesn't really solve the main problem, which is firing fucking Caldwell. But what this does, it allows us to see somebody different call the plays. And we got this guy named the quarterback's coach, who I was actually asking to be promoted to offensive coordinator. Maybe a couple of, especially after last week. In the Bears game, when I seen him go downstairs and work with Matthew Stafford more on the sidelines, I said, man, I think this dude, Jim Bob Cooter, this country ass sounding name motherfucker. I was like, man, I like to see him get promoted, or get him promoted for the rest of the season, because I need to see how this nigga coaches first. I just don't want someone coming in getting a whole season next year as well, and he garbage. So it is going to be nice to see someone else calling the offensive plays to see if that was the problem. See, now that this is happening, this is going to expose Caldwell even more, because now we really get to see if it was mainly Lombardi's fault or is it mainly Caldwell's fault. So now we're really going to see whose fault it was why this offense stunk this year and last year. So this gives us Lions fans to see this. Now, obviously these guys come in immediately. They'll come in, they'll start to get ready to go this Sunday overseas in London. And we'll get a chance to see if this offense is running a little different. Now, this will be interesting. I mean, because if I see any improvements, I'm going to be wondering to myself why this change wasn't made weeks earlier. And that's going to be the most frustrating thing about Sunday's game, is we probably could have had this under control a while ago, and at least when the team went 0-3, in my opinion. When we went 0-3, we probably could have made this change right before the Seahawks game. But we let this shit play out 4 extra weeks, and it got our ass knocked out of the fucking playoffs, because we're not making the playoffs. And I said this before, we're not fucking making the playoffs at 10-6. We'll have to win the next 9 games, and even at 10-6, the Eagles just showed us last year you can be 10-6 and not make the fucking playoffs. All right, you need to be at least 11-5, especially with Green Bay leading the way in this fucking division. You need to be at 11-5 to really seal up a wild card spot. And this is not happening for us, man. I think the Vikings probably gonna get one of those. I'm actually hoping the Vikings choke a little bit before the end of the season, and they don't even make the other fucking wild card. Like, it's maybe an NFC East team and an NFC West team that gets the wild card spots, and it's not even the fucking Vikings. That'd be part of one last saving grace, I think, for me in this season, this pathetic ass season that I like to see play out. You know, because I don't think those bastards deserve to make the fucking playoffs, in my fucking opinion. But I'm liking this Jim Bob Cooter dude, man, already, man. He got a funny ass fucking name, but it goes beyond that. I don't know if y'all read up on this dude. I got a chance before I did this video, and I listened to the radio a little bit. This dude's background, he's got a fucking criminal history. He did some shit in 2006 and 2009. The funniest one came in 2009. This nigga supposedly tried to rob somebody, and he was in some woman's bed or some shit with his underwear on. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna be a fucking punchline. But I'm like, dude, I'm already liking this dude. I said, man, if he is the shit as far as calling plays, man, I would like him. He's gonna be a celebrity in this fucking town. I'm telling you right now, if he's any fucking good, he's gonna be a celebrity in this fucking town, dog. Real talk. Because motherfuckers probably gonna be pleading with him to become the head coach and shit, man. Man. So we'll see what Jim Bob Cooter does, and Ron Prince, who's a new offensive line coach, see what they do. All these niggas came from the same system, so I also want to see if it's the same system that's failing on us. You know, I still think it's that. That's why I don't expect too much out of these fucking changes, because I still said the real change that should have been made was fucking Caldwell, and I still think he should get fired after Sunday's game. I don't care what change has been fucking made. He still need to get fired. Promote Terrell Austin for the rest of this fucking season. And to address Caitlin Kay's, one of my loyal female watchers, she made a couple of really good comments in my last video that I made earlier this afternoon. The one that stuck out to me was one when Man Beast mentioned Sean Payton as possible head coach. But obviously, that's not going to happen till next year, you know, to get Sean Payton, because he's going to coach the rest of this season with the fucking Saints. So we got to wait at least till January for us to even try to get him. And I'm fully behind getting Sean Payton. If there is someone who could really run the Saints offense well, it's going to be Sean Payton. I think that's probably where the Lions screwed up at. If you're going to adopt that system, you need to make sure the motherfucker who actually created a great system with that comes in here, because Sean Payton and a lot of his guys have coached here, so he's probably thinking about this job. He's probably thinking like, man, shit, maybe I could come up here and change shit, you know, with these fucking Lions. But we are gonna I did mention also that he's gonna have some competition. He's gonna have some competition. The Dolphins was the first thing that I heard about when they fired Joe Philbin, but things might be changing with that, depending on how Dan Campbell finishes this season with the Dolphins. Now I'm really hoping Dan Campbell probably finishes this season strong, so it only comes down to maybe, I think, what was the two teams I mentioned? I think the Colts and Texans will probably be the two teams that will be huge candidates, because I know the number one job in the NFL will probably be the coach position. The coach head coaching job, because of Andrew Luck, who's really showing his sorry ass ways this season. You know, motherfuckers try to put him ahead of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and you see what you got for doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Took a shot at that nigga, but yeah, I mean, you know, Colts, you know, Texans, because as much as I like dude from the Texans, man, it's not working out. So they're gonna need to find someone else as well. But we're gonna have some competition, because you know we're gonna have a lot of teams going after Sean Payton. So I have not seen who's the top 5 desired head coaches this offseason just yet. Usually those lists start really coming out when the second half of the season is underway, you know, around Thanksgiving, December. That's where you really start seeing more and more names pop up. Right now, the biggest name is just Sean Payton right now. He's going to be the number 1 coach available next year. And, you know, it's no guarantee that New Orleans will lose him either, because they're sort of turning their season around as we speak. But I think he's still probably be let go. I think he's I think they have to trade for him though, so it's going to be interesting. I got to read up more on the Sean Payton thing, but obviously he's a guy out of anybody right now that I don't want. The bandage right now is maybe Terrell Austin. Terrell Austin is someone that we could see as early as this season. If they fire Caldwell at any point this season, we could see what Terrell Austin can do as a head coach right fucking now. You know, I don't want that to hurt Terrell Austin's chances of getting another head coaching job, you know, this season, because he's still probably be someone who will be, you know, getting an interview process at the end of the season. I really like, you know, Terrell Austin, but you know, it is what it is to see what's going to happen with that. You know, so we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. Like I said, I like the changes that were made this week, but I think they were forced at Caldwell's hands, so I'm not going to give Caldwell too many because he had his chances to really make these changes a few weeks ago. He didn't make them. I think his hand was forced in this situation. Somebody up top probably forced him, so I'm not going to give him a lot of credit. And he still needs to go as well. Like I said, only the defensive staff is the only people that you keep in place here, in my opinion. We got a really good defensive staff here. I don't even want to see them go next season. I want to see the same defensive staff here next season as well. But it's the offense. We've been needing to change for a while. And we'll finally see if it was Caldwell. We'll finally see. I still want his ass out of here. I still want Mayhew's ass out of here. I still want Lawan's ass out of here. All right? Overall. But I know the Mayhew and Lawan part is going to be taken care of probably in January. You know, nobody's going to fight them niggas right fucking now. Even though we could fight a general manager right now, but I just don't think we're going to do it. I think that'll probably be a January thing right there. But Caldwell, there's still some hope. But if things go well, I'm not going to be really pleading for Caldwell, but I still want Caldwell at least at the end of the season to be gone, because if Jim Bob Cooter turns his offense around in the second half of the season, I'm going to be like this, man. I'm going to be like, man, you either promote him or Terrell Austin the head coach in the offseason, man. I'm going to be on that type of shit, G, like for real. I mean, you know, so it's good that everyone's on their toes right now. That loss probably brought this shit to happen. So in a way, yesterday's loss was probably a good thing because it brought this shit in motion. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens in London, but man, this is an interesting day, man. I can't wait to hear everybody else's thoughts on it. Man, Beast, Hitman, you know, everybody else, Everything King and such shit like that. Can't wait to hear everybody else's opinions on it. I'm gonna be listening to the Detroit radio throughout the next couple of days to hear their opinion. I got a chance to hear Mike Bellini and Terry Foster thoughts on it so far. They was spending more time making fun of Jim Bob Cooter fucking name and rap sheet. But we'll see, you know. It's just an interesting day. Just an interesting day. I did see this shit happen. I just made it was like damn, man. Just a couple of hours after I made that fucking post that video to YouTube, this shit happened. So maybe these motherfuckers are watching our videos, man. I don't know, man. Maybe these motherfuckers are watching. If they are, man, I'm gonna keep making videos like this. When I see someone need to get fucking fired, I'm gonna keep making videos like this then, man. Well, I know they ain't watching our videos though. But man, yeah. If any videos need to be made rest of the week, I'll make them. But right now, just expect for a video to get made on Sunday. When our game ends, I don't know if I'm going to make it right after the game ends because I do like watching the early games on Sunday. And I don't like really coming on here for about 30 minutes to an hour making a fucking video. But I will make one next month. I will make one next week. We got the bye week after that. So it's going to be very interesting because I'm going to definitely get my thoughts on this offense and the way it changed and all this other shit. So it's a lot to look forward to, man. You know, I feel like even though the season is still dead, it's at least we got something to look forward to because I'm telling you what, before these changes were made, I really, for the first time since like 2012, really felt like this was a dead to go nowhere season, man. Like, I was not feeling good about it. So now at least I'm feeling like, you know, that there's something that we can finally, you know, kind of just watch, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, thank you for watching my video as always. Peace. Let's see how these changes happen. Jim Bob Cooter.